Hi, and welcome to Dating is a Joke, where we take dating so seriously that we laugh about it. Today, I've got Cody. Hi, Cody.
Hey Diana, how you doing?
I am so good, and I am so happy to be here because I don't know if you know this, Cody, but you were my first heckler.
Oh, oh no, I am now mortified. I gotta leave. I gotta
No,
go now.
no, not at all. No, it wasn't bad heckle. It wasn't a bad heckle, and and we dealt with it, and I think because of it that we're better friends.
Oh
Absolutely.
wait, was this at the Albion?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay, I remember now.
But you know what? It made you very memorable. So here we are. If it wasn't for that moment, we might not be here today. Actually, Cody's also the only person I've ever seen sit down and hold somebody's hand while he does his set. So that was entertaining, though. When you see somebody do something a little bit different, I feel like sometimes people try to do something different, but it's almost like too much or it makes things weird. You were able to pull that off very well, Cody. So kudos to you.
It's I'm used to being unique and weird. That's the I figure if I want to get noticed, you kind of have to kind of throw those, curveballs and really hope for the best, really. There's been a few
It's okay.
times where I've done that and it's just bombed so hard. If there's ever a couch on the set, I'll definitely lie down. And there's been times where people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I had a conversation with somebody on the podcast, and we were talking about the importance of bombing and how if you haven't bombed, then you're not taking enough risks, right? And you're not really putting yourself out there or you're not doing it enough because it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, like there's only one way to test out new jokes that you've written, and I'd rather bomb in front of 20 people with a new joke and understand where it kind of can lead to and where it'll shape up eventually instead of doing really well for that one joke in front of two people at a, down grungy open mic. So,
Yeah. The other thing, too, though, is you really need a thick skin in comedy because if you bomb, doesn't mean you need to give up on that. Like you can't just bomb a joke and then park it and forget about it because I have a set that I do. I literally have like people in the audience clapping. I can barely get through it. And I've had other times the exact same set. Nothing. Right. So have you had that at all? Do you have any that you do that sometimes get the big laughs and
oh my God, yeah. I almost am learning how to cater my set to my audience either the night of or where I'm performing. So, like, even a small kind of area like the GTA, if I'm doing a show in Toronto, that set might do really good. Whereas in St. Catharines or Niagara Falls, it'll do horribly. And so you just kind of have to read the room. That's why going first or bullet's always the hardest thing for me, right? But if you're later on in the lineup or the headliner, you can kind of see where the audience has laughed most. Like yesterday, I was at the Rusty Nail, and
okay.
one of the comics did a very raunchy joke, and mine was a little bit more of a clean, funny, happy set. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna add some raunchiness to it, and I look back at it today, and those were my biggest laughs.
Okay, because you noticed that they because that could be the other way, right? Because if the audience had not reacted well to the raunchy, then you got to leave that out.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I find my material because it mostly has to do with relationships and divorce and all of that. My material generally does better with women. It also generally does better with older women. But I do have like sort of my backup set where like if men are in the audience, where if I make more sexually explicit jokes or I make more fun of myself in a sexually explicit way, I do get more laughs. And the women will laugh at that as well, right? But there's certain jokes where like the men just look at me like, yeah, no, not fun, not funny, not funny, lady.
It's also who do you want to make laugh to a certain extent as well. I mean, there are a lot of comedians out there that do a lot of raunchy jokes and they're just tasteless. Um, and so I'd rather hear a really funny, to me, personal set of good quality jokes than just someone that's like, oh, I'm doing, all this raunchy stuff. So
The other thing that I was gonna say was, oh, the other hard pill to swallow, I guess, as a comic is, yeah, you can, it's the bombing, but it's also the fact that not everybody's going to like you, nor should they.
no,
Right?
no.
Yeah. And that was very hard for me. I just wanted everybody to think I was wonderful and hilarious, and that's not the case.
That's how I tried to, that's how I grew up, is I just wanted everyone to like me, and comedy's been the perfect way to kind of realize that no, not a lot of people will like me.
Not,
That
yeah,
and
not.
running in politics.
But then that goes to the and this okay, so I'm gonna segue this into relationships because it's the whole concept of, you also don't want the wrong people to like you. Right? So you will find, as long as you are staying true to yourself, you're talking about things you believe in. And this is my thing. I do see some comics making jokes that I don't like. And I'm like, I think you believe that. Like, I think you're saying that just because you're trying to get the shock factor and the laughs. Like, I don't actually think you own that. And you can tell, and that makes it like even less. But I feel it's the same thing in relationships. It's like you go around and it's like, oh, I want people to like me. And I'm like, no, I don't think I do. I don't think I want everybody to like me, right? You want to find
It's
your people.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche, but the authentic self is what resonates with people the most. So whether or not they like you, if they feel that you're being authentic, there's at least going to be that kind of respect and appreciation, I feel like. And so it's the same way that I do comedy and dating is I try to be as authentic to myself in front of the person that I'm with or the audience that I'm with.
Yeah.
And I can leave knowing that I've not lied to who I am.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so important because at the end of the day, you're going home with yourself every night, every single night, and that's the one person you know is going to be there in the morning.
Boy, do I know that.
Okay, so that let's go to our wheel. What's something small that ended up being a much bigger deal in a relationship that you expected?
Ooh, that depends. No, I'm kidding. No, I would say I have so many horrible relationships that I want to pull from for this.
Oh no.
Uh, my uh second fiance, actually, she hated the fact that I was going bald.
Oh,
And
okay.
for me, it was like, you know what, that's who I am. I'm, going bald. It wasn't a big deal, but it ended up kind of snowballing into an effect where she would, I would find like bottles of hair growth, in like the shower that
Oh
she'd
boy.
like hint towards, or like one year for my birthday, she got me like a pamphlet to this like Turkish style hair implant thing. She's a Parisian French woman, and so
Yeah.
she's very like high class, or like she perceived
Yeah.
herself to be high class and wanted kind of that perfect life. And so me losing my hair, what I thought was a small thing, ended up being kind of like a wedge that kind of broke us apart to like, I'm learning how to respect myself more. So I wanted to stand up and say, hey, listen, like that's
Yeah.
a little bit too much. So
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Thank you for sharing that one. Now, we don't need to talk about it, but that kind of just very casually said, my second fiance. So you've been
yeah,
engaged twice, Cody?
I am an idiot. High school sweethearts, right? I got engaged right out of high school.
Uh-huh.
And that only lasted a couple months because I wanted to go to school in Ottawa. and they didn't
Okay.
want to come with, and so we kind
Yeah.
of broke it off after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you dating like throughout high school, or did you just happen to be together near the end of high school? How long was that
Pretty
relationship?
much like from grade 10. So grade 10, 11, and 12, we were seeing each other. And
Mhm.
so at the end of that, I, did the little proposal and
Yeah.
then kind of wanted to decide what I want to do with my life. And I figured, I'll go to Ottawa, study political science.
Yeah.
And she wanted to stay here in Hamilton. And so we broke it off because of that.
One thing to you, Cody, though, because I mean, a lot of people do make that mistake. Speaking from experience, I kind of dropped out of college and got married instead. So for you to kind of, I think it's very romantic. I know you said, oh, I made the big mistake, but there's so much romance in you saying, oh my gosh, we've hit this milestone, even though it's just high school. But when you're young, that is such a huge milestone, right? You're grown up, right? And to take that giant step, but also make that giant step and make that decision of saying, I'm not going to sacrifice what I want in my education for this. That must have been tough, but good for you.
I've always been someone that like loves new experiences. And so, like, through years of therapy, I've kind of realized maybe that was an experience that I wanted to like be in that like proposal state at a certain
Mm,
extent. Like, we're 18, and when you're 18 at the time, you think you're the smartest person in the world, that you can't do any wrong, and you know
oh
what
yeah.
everything is and what it's represented by. And looking back, I knew nothing. I was such a silly goose. I can't believe what I did. Like, she's now living her best life as well, so I'm very proud and happy for her. But just looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? Why didn't we just take it a little bit slower out the gate? So,
It's so difficult though, because at the time, you know everything, right? Like
mhm.
at the time, you are so sure. And I mean, I was married at 22. I was married 25 years. I don't look back and say I shouldn't have, like I regret it. I've got three kids. I'm exactly in life. I wish I could have been here 20 years ago, but nothing says that I would have been here, right? Like I feel like everything comes at its time. Um, but I look back and think, 22-year-old Diana or 18-year-old Diana, when I decided that this was my guy, would have made that decision again, right? Like if all things being equal, because you're just so sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and you haven't had those experiences of kind of what your red flags and green flags are,
Mhm.
what uh level of respect you deserve. And so yeah, that's uh yeah.
Okay, thanks, Cody. Now, I did not mention this up front, but you have very graciously offered your services to our viewers and myself today. And you're going to be doing some tarot card readings for five of our comic volunteers, which are past guests on the show, who have some relationship questions for you. I have decided to not ask a relationship question because I didn't like what I got last time.
I'm so sorry. It's that's my biggest
Cards.
fear. I've had two people come up to me recently and say, while what I read was accurate, they hated the final result. And so I'm gonna try to give as much good juju as possible,
Do
but
you
we'll let the
ask the
cards decide.
universe? The universe gave me a very honest answer, and I've just realized I just rather live my life in denial. That's just a choice that I'm making.
I like that.
Okay,
I like to start every day by doing a little tarot reading for
yes.
myself. And when I do tarot and I do tarot for people, I try to let them know that this is more of a suggestion than a hard line. It's a way to kind of re-stabilize yourself, to look at how you can see the mechanisms that are moving around you, and to really just reevaluate the decisions that you're making for those choices. So yeah, let's get it going.
Get
Let's
it.
help some of the dating's a joke listeners out there.
Listeners, okay, so our first person is going to be Talia.
Hey Cody, so I'm a hypnotherapist and a stand up comedian and a content creator. miscellaneous, and I'm wondering, when will I be in a stable relationship with a man who gives me everything that I need? And I do mean everything. Thank you for answering. Bye.
What I heard was, when will she find a stable relationship where the guy provides her everything?
Mhm. That's
Okay,
exactly it.
okay, Talia, let's see here. Um, Normally I do a past, present, future pull, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. So Talia, you're looking for a stable relationship and how to find that guy that will give you everything. My statement is never look for someone to provide you with everything. Take what you want. And so first in your past love life, Talia, you were the fool represents kind of a naivete, a new beginning. Really, when we're looking at the fool, we want to make sure that we're excited about the adventure. And so for your card, if for your past relationships, I'd say it's very much a a you're always excited for the start of a relationship. And now, presently, as you kind of look for a stable partner, we're looking at the moon. Now, the moon symbolizes more of a mystery. And so you're allowing yourself to be kind of swept up in the moment and kind of taking things by chance. And so you're not really happy with the way that that's kind of pushing forward with itself. So really, Talia, what I'd say for your relationship to find a man that can give you everything and that stability that's very important to you, the best way the future is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I'm liking this split because this spread, it shows a very diverse way of approaching your love life, and you're kind of taking it in stages. And so where you've kind of gone from the fool to more of the mysterious moon, you're looking for more concrete results. Look at the actions that these men are giving you right at the beginning of your relationship. And I think if you're able to kind of take those chances based off of the green flag, so to speak, when they're pushing forward in their love advancement, you're going to find a lot of benefit, if that makes any sense.
Do you have any kind of final advice for Talia?
I'd say the one thing I'll pull out my minor arcana here. I'd say the one thing that you should look forward for this man of your dreams is going to be the upside down Knight of Swords. Okay. Um, so Swords is an action card. So again, like I was saying with the Wheel of Fortune, they're gonna be someone that takes charge, that really dominates the relationship with kind of their presence. And so what you're gonna look for the man that is gonna give you everything is gonna be someone that actually, no, the reverse is you're going to be pushing against each other. And so if he's going to be more dominant in the relationship and that's kind of a shock to your system and something that you haven't really taken before, really be open-minded for that and really be excited about the opportunities that come from a man that will dominate the decision making, dominate kind of the spending habits, and also dominate that love lifestyle that you're so excited to have.
Okay, great. I we will share this with Talia as she sees it, and maybe in some of my Love Bite segments, I can get Talia's reactions to some of this. Thank you, Cody.
I love that. Heck yeah.
Yeah, are you ready to hear from our next guest?
Yeah, I'll just shuffle as you're reading that question so I can put some good energy out there.
Okay, so let's go to Kristen.
Hi, Cody. Kristen here. I'm a big fan. I'm hoping that your tarot card reading can answer my question. I have been with the same man for 25 years. We've been married for 21. We have 2 children. And I am wondering if 2026 will be the year that the spark comes back. Thank you.
Okay. So a little bit different from Talia, it seems like, right? Just kind
Yeah.
of finding that excitement. The love's still there, but the 25 years of complacency has kind of started to run its toll.
Mhm.
So I am excited for you because I feel like this is going to be a good learning experience. Is the quality of my video good as well?
It's great. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, these didn't like that at all, so we're just gonna throw those away. And past, present, future. So the Fool. Okay, guys,
Wow.
I swear they're not all the same cards. So the Fool. So again, I think at the beginning of your relationship, uh you loved the playfulness, the innocence, the again the naive view of what your relationship really stood for, and just kind of goofing around. And so presently, when you're looking at your relationship, you're looking at the world. You guys have it. So the Fool is the beginning of the tarot major arcana like journey, and the world is the uh uh final stepping stone of the journey that the Fool's taken. And so after 25 years, you've experienced everything with this man, and you feel like there's no new challenges. And I kind of feel like I know what card's going to be coming up next. If it's like a chariot or an empress or an emperor, I'm going to freak out. But oh, temperance, patience. Okay. Okay, a nice little swing of things. So you've really pushed the boundaries of what your relationship has become. And because you pushed, and maybe you the resistance that you felt or didn't feel is accepting enough, you and he have felt really comfortable, and you don't want to rock the boat. And so the patience, the temperance, and the understanding is really having deep conversations. Start to explore more of the psychological and metaphysical aspects of your relationship than just the physical and the kind of the safety nets that you've placed around yourself. What we see here for Temperance is the angel has 1 foot on land and 1 foot in water. Water represents understanding emotions, the ability to be fluid in the state that you're in. And so I'd say have try to have like a deep conversation with your husband at least once a week in a way that is different from conversations that you've had in the past. Maybe tackle something that is maybe you have different political views and you want to have a debate on that, or maybe there is something that's happening in your life that is scary, that you really want their understanding and their breakdown. And so I'd say that can start to the deeper that you have these, the more that you have these deep conversations and connections, I think that spark will start to ignite again, and you'll be able to really, uh, um, you know, like I'm 36 now. Uh, I was with my partner for 5 years, and our bodies changed during that time. And the way that we kind of had our reignition after a couple years was really just having immense political discussions and really having those fun arguments, if that makes any sense. And kind of, having the love of the disagreement. And so yeah, I'd say look forward to it. There's a lot of pureness that's in your relationship, Christian. And yeah, looking forward to hearing back what you think.
Wow, you bring up a really good point, Cody. I think about long-term relationships in general, especially the stage that Kristen is at with her husband is similar to the stage that I was at with mine, where you go through the passion, the love, the starting a family, you buy your first house, or you start building a home together, whatever that is. And then it just becomes about survival for the next like 20 years, right? And by survival, I mean driving the kids, going to parent teacher interviews, paying your bills, and all the conversations when you have the energy for them are about taking care of business. I've always compared to running a household and a family to running a business. You need those same skills. But now I know that Kristen's kids are older, just like mine are older, and it's time to maybe get back to getting to know one another in a deeper level that maybe has been missed out over time.
Yeah, like put yourselves in different scenarios that normally like you might otherwise feel uncomfortable or secluded in. Like for example, me and my second fiance, she was an interpreter for Parliament. I worked in Parliament. And so what we would do is it's so nerdy and so silly. We would go sit during question period and listen to what the politicians talk about. And because she was like a very neutral interpreter, and I was a very like liberal political staffer, we would have these debates of kind of, oh, like, her views were more conservative and she would share those with me, and then I kind of debate on her and we talk about that and then share the reflection on what that meant for each other and kind of it would lead into further discussion of, what our future kids, how we'd want to raise them, or how we want to tackle, some of the volunteer and charity work that we would do as well.
Wow, I can see how that can deepen the relationship. I could also see how it could cause some issues if you don't have good communication skills, right? You do have to have those willing to listen to understand as opposed to, listen to respond kind of
It's a
mentality.
lot safer to do that after 25 years because you feel like
Yes.
you've kind of known the person. But like maybe a view comes out that surprises you, and then you've learned something new, and that like the fool that she had at the beginning was kind of the excitement of that new chapter. And so I feel like reigniting that fire from within
Mhm.
through new learning experiences will be good.
We are doing Charmaine next. I'm not sure if have you ever met Charmaine, maybe not, so this might be
I have
a
one of
new
my
one for
best
you.
friends named is Charmaine, so
Hi, my name is Charmaine, and my question is when and how am I gonna meet my person? Or even not person, but like next relationship? I don't know if that's a valid question. If not, just like what's in store for me in terms of my love life 2026.
I I'm gonna do a past, present, future. And so, Charmaine, kind of how you've looked at your relationships before is an inverted death. So again, there was large, uh, a big kind of finality to a relationship that you felt went unresolved. And so now you're looking at your relationship in the form of justice. You want to be able to have not a tit for tat per se, but when you put in the energy, you want to have that energy received back. So look for the man in your life that really advocates for kind of the sharing of responsibilities. And so the magician is kind of your final say for what your relationship is going to look like in 2026, and that's practicality. The magician represents uh hard skills. They're very focused within kind of like the STEM. So look for a man that might be in engineering or science, technology, mathematics, aka STEM. I think that'll come across very lovely for yourself, and really make sure that this man kind of shares and shows their love for you in the way that you are showing it to them. And so the one thing that I'd look for, Charmaine, the one kind of like hidden flag or like hidden like symbol would be the Five of Wands. And so the wands represent the element of fire. Five in the arc of the minor elements represents a lot of conflict. And so this relationship that you're going to have in 2026 is going to be in response to a conflict through passion, through kind of fast movement and fast emotions. And so just make sure as you're going and attracting the man of your dreams for 2026, you're really focused on how justice is represented. Because when there's a lot of conflict that's happening here, you want to make sure that you leave that chaotic setting in a way that you're a better person. So yeah,
Wow, that was actually very specific feedback when you're looking at, the type of person that she might be a good fit with, the way that they think. I personally tend to not get along with engineers. Uh, I think too much with my heart. Engineers like to think, more logically, so it's never been a good mix for me.
well,
But
especially
Shane, I mean, go out there.
like especially tied in with death,
Mhm.
inverted death, like it means it's the end of a chapter. There's been chaos. There's been kind of a surprise ending to something, especially when it's flipped upside down. There's unresolvedness, and so the magician ties in very well by saying that you have to have practical skills to deal with that. And so yeah, yeah, this is a really great spread, Charmaine, and let me know what you think.
Great. Thank you, Cody. Okay, we've got two more.
Heck yeah.
And let's go to, actually, let's go to Kendall.
Hey Diana, hey Cody. This is so exciting. I haven't had tarot done in like 15 years. I'm wondering, what does my dating life have in store for me over this next year? What's in store for me for 2026?
I love that. Positivity. 15 years. Thanks for allowing me to kind of get you back into that tarot mindset. So let's do a past, present, future. Past, present, future. So what your dating life's going to look like for 2026. And so, oh my God, we're pulling up
Wow.
a lot of the Fool today.
Is it because we're all
Uh,
comedians? Is that why the fool keeps coming up?
dating's a joke and so is tarot, apparently.
Yeah.
That is what I'm getting from here. You've kind of from even that short video that you've sent, I see a lot of pure innocence and excitement and kind of just ready for that adventure. And so right now, what your dating life looks like in the chariot position is you're really driving forward with what you're looking for. And you kind of feel alone in that. Where the chariot, you see them on top of the throne, which represents a little bit of a power, authority, kind of a conscious effort to move. The chariot, represented by the two sphinxes, the left and the right, also create questions amongst yourself. And so when we're looking for your love life in 2026, we're looking at the hanged man. The hanged man is a response to consequences, good or bad, uh, of what you've pushed forward in your dating life for leading up into 2026. So I'd really say that if you feel like you're not experiencing what you need to on your journey, especially with kind of like the naivete of the fool and the determination of the chariot, really be accepting and okay that uh, uh, like I for example, if you match with a guy on Tinder and you're kind of like against the whole online dating and how people perceive matching and dating based off of like, Tinder or Hinge or whatever, and you're embarrassed by that, but you still like the guy, kind of accept that like that the world's put you in this position to meet the man of your dreams in a way that might not be as perfect in your setting or in your mind. And so be really excited for those possibilities and really drive forward with kind of the experiences that you've grown to love. And so with the minor arcana, I'll just do this quick. I'd say look for the flag of the Ace of Swords. And so this in the minor arcana kind of arc The ace is the first card of the actions that we take. So really, there's an idea of an action that you're looking for out there. So maybe that means doing more speed dating, but you're kind of afraid of that and the kind of the contemplation and the public perception of what speed dating is, for example. Or maybe like you want to do the very niche like pumpkin patch kind of like look for a man that's lost in the corn maze kind of idea. Really be excited for any new territory of how to find someone that you can mesh well with. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You know that I heard you say some very interesting things in this one, Cody, that bring up a lot of the conversations that I've had with guests and that people have on their mind around some of the stigma that comes along with online dating. Like it's such a popular thing, right? You know that almost just about everybody does it, but there's still this kind of feeling like, oh, the apps, right? Like you're sort of embarrassed to say, um,
Mhm.
that you're on the apps and this dream world that we live in. You said a pumpkin patch was just very sweet. I'm thinking, oh yeah, pumpkin patch would be nice, but I have a guest who mentioned, the produce aisle, right? Like,
Oh
where you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
meet somebody.
It's yeah, like people want this perfect way that their story kind of unfolds, but what is perfection than what others believe to be true? And so when you're really pushing for your love life, uh, isn't your perfect love life finding the right man or woman for you, right? That right person for you. And it doesn't matter how that story starts because the journey and the end is kind of that final result of what you're looking for. So,
Oh, you have a lot of insights, Cody. Uh, So now I'm like, oh, I've got so much more to talk about with Cody. I'm gonna have to have you back. Okay,
perfect. I'd love to.
let's finish up with Anna.
Anna,
Uh, Anna, and they have a very fun question. Anna is very, very funny.
Hey, Cody. All right, I want you to give it to me straight. No, no, no. Forget that. Give it to me gay. Am I going to meet the love of my life, or am I going to die alone and be eaten by my cats? Those are the only two options. No in-betweens. Which is it?
okay, Anna, we're coming in hot. I love that.
Anna likes clarity.
I will say this, when it comes to tarot, I do not predict deaths or births. Don't want to leave that up to the cards. I think there's a lot more that goes into that. But uh, we'll see if your cat's hungry, is what I'm gonna go for. Uh, so Anna, what is your love life gonna look like, and are you going to be alone? The Empress. Um, Boss energy to the core is what I'm pulling from you for your love life. You've really pushed forward for what you've wanted in relationships. And so what the Empress is, you kind of see like the growing of the gaze, like the corn and whatnot. And that's kind of like the harvest that's ready because of what you've cultivated in the past. And so you feel as if you're like, what is taking so long? I'm here. I have accepted and I've pushed forward for what I want, and I kind of have met a lot of conflict. And now, how do I reap my rewards? And so, currently in your love life, you're feeling the hermit. I can really relate to this card. It's a lot of introspectiveness, a lot of wisdom, a lot of guidance. And so when we're looking at the hermit in the terms of our love life, look for someone that you feel capitulates or mirrors the love life that you want for yourself. And so talk to them, because if you're hanging out with them more and their partner, then you're able to really relate well on how they found each other, and then maybe they might even be able to guide you to maybe a friend or a common, or maybe an acquaintance of theirs that they feel would match well and mesh well with yourself. So for your future, not dying, but is your cat gonna nibble on you? Mystery. We don't know. There's just too much out there right now, Anna. I can't tell you for sure. But what I can tell you is that uh, you are excited about the the mystery of who this person's going to be and be enthralled with kind of the unknown. And so when you're looking for this person, look for ways that you can really mimic um the stages of appreciation and test the waters and kind of throw your net out there. Not to say be, a loosey goosey, so to speak, but really, go try to go on as many dates as you can, and then you'll get a broader image of who the best person's going to be for your life. I'd say, kind of a minor arcana look that we can have is the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords is kind of the that next stage of the Five of Swords, that large conflict that arises, and there's going to be a resolution. So look at things that are going to be solved in your near future. That could be a project at work. That could be a trip has now finally been planned, and you've gone on that trip, and you've kind of reaped the benefits of those rewards of your planning. And really look for the surrounded aspect of what that kind of conflict resolution really means for yourself, and look at who really showed up in those moments, and that will be a person that really is that you're attracted to and will be attracted back to you.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much, Cody. That's a lot for Anna to think about.
You're very
Maybe Anna
welcome.
should keep those cats well fed. Thank you, Cody. We have ran out of time
I'm so
today,
sorry.
but definitely I'm going to be sharing this with our guests and with our viewers. If our viewers want to get a hold of you, Cody, what's the best way to reach you?
I do free tarot readings on my Instagram, Retro Cody Laughs. Follow me on there. Send a message. Say that say that you've seen dating as a joke, and then I'll give you a free reading.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I might go back to you, Cody. I'm feeling like after hearing the other ones, I'm like, maybe maybe I'd like some guidance because that was a very insightful reading. Truly, truly appreciate you taking the time, Cody, to be here. Happy Valentine's Day to
Happy
you.
Valentine's Day.
And I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you all very much for joining us. Please go find Cody, get your own reading, follow him, find him at a show. He is hilarious. And I'm sorry, he's got this whole thing about being on a scooter that just kills me even to think about it. You see, I'm laughing thinking about it. And find me as well, Diana B. Comedy. And we'll see you again on the next episode of Dating with the Truth.